Hey, Dan Meyer here, and I'm back once again to talk more about data. And these are tips from my masterclass, how to use data in your business. And today we're going to focus on the visualization of data. Data is powerful stuff, but most people can't make sense of numbers. That's why they need to use data visualization. If you think about the famous saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words, it means basically that people can make sense of a picture quicker and faster than they can of listening to someone tell a story verbally, right? So our eyes connected to our brain help us make quick decisions, and that's super important when it comes to analytics. So a good spreadsheet with some pie charts are worth much more than that spreadsheet by itself. In fact, a good pie chart is worth 1,000 rows of data. So think about that. So what are the things that you need to know about visualizing data? Well, number one, you need to know the science behind how people learn. Any good analyst spends some time trying to figure out what works when it comes to trying to educate, enable, and empower people with their analysis work, right? When you put together visuals that are shared in a report, that are given in a presentation, that are put together in a PowerPoint or some kind of visualization like a business dashboard, you have to design that visual based on how people learn. And there are some simple truths that we should follow when it comes to visualizations, things that are just scientifically, they are what they are. And when we go against them, it costs us. It costs us then the fact that people don't learn what we want them to learn as quickly as we want them to learn it based on our analysis. I talk about this thing where people basically get cognitive dissonance when they look at visuals that don't make sense. If you don't do the right types of visuals for the data you're trying to present, you can actually do more harm than good. So really quick, you want to know about the visual learning. So just Google visual learning, how people learn. Start looking like what are the best visuals to be able to get my data across. I'll talk about in future videos when you should use a pie chart, when you should use a line graph, when you should use a bar chart, when they're called for and when they're not, and ways to make them quicker and easier to understand. You also want to really think about the color and spacing you're using. We learn how to read, mostly reading black text on a white background. There's a reason that optometrists use black text on a white background. That's the easiest way for all eyes, to read is dark text on light backgrounds, ideally black on white. But you want to mix it up. You don't want to always have black and white. It's kind of boring, right? So you want to mix in some colors, but you want to always keep that dark on light mentality, because if you don't, you're going to confuse your audience. If you ever tried to read bright pink text on a light blue background, it's hard to follow because your brain can't connect. So I'll talk about that in a future video, color and spacing. You want to make sure you have plenty of white space, plenty of open space. You don't want to clutter. And most importantly, you want to keep it simple. When it comes to data visualizations, you want to think of the couple visuals that tell what your data wants to tell. They're the storytelling aspect of your analytics. You want to be able to understand how people learn visually. You want to incorporate these visual learning techniques. You want to use color and spacing wisely. You want to use the right types of visuals like pie charts and line graphs when appropriate, and you want to keep it simple. If you do these three things, you're going to be much more successful. So I'll be back again soon with more videos on keys to data visualization to make sure that you are visualizing your data most effectively. Thanks again for your time. Now get out there and be awesome.